Hey, it's Scott from Scott on Security. Scott Beck, co-star in the Amazon Prime documentary Cybercrime and CEO of Beck Tech, an IT security and cyber services company. Someone was asking me last week why I enjoy going out in public and talking. I had a couple of talks recently in the local area talking to business professionals around cybercrime. And they're like, Scott, why do you like doing it? Well, I guess because of my radio background. And if you're not familiar with my background, I guess maybe I should talk about that. But I'm an ex-radio DJ that started getting replaced by computers. Seeing the change in the technology world, I shifted my career and got into computers, which has then led to cybersecurity. So that's from a high level. That's how this occurred. But why I like getting out and talking about it, it's fun assisting our clients and assisting people with questions when they have it. But when I get out in front of 30, 40, and one of the events last week had over 100 people at it, and I get talking about the different things that are happening in the cybersecurity world. Talking about ransomware, talking about crypto mining, where people are getting into your computers and they're using it to basically become a ledger for part of Bitcoin mining and things like that. That's another whole topic. The different phishing emails that are happening out there, what's happening on the dark web. It's not fun, but I will say entertaining for me to be watching the eyes of those in attendance. And I can see from the front of the room at that moment when they go, oh crap, seriously? That's really happening? And when things get really real for them. And usually, maybe not 100% of the room are going to get it. Maybe some people are already aware and they're just there for a refresher. But when I see that going off in the eyes and realize that I'm helping people with the discovery of what's actually occurring in the real world and what they can do to try to protect themselves against it, that excites me. That's good. I really like the idea of trying to keep people's money in their own pockets and out of the pockets of cyber criminals. And, it's not fun. At my firm, when people call, it's not usually because they're excited. Hey, I'm wondering if you guys can help me because I got hit by ransomware. No one's excited by that. The phone call is like, okay, so it appears one of my employees clicked on a link and now I can't get into my files and we can't work. And what can you do to help me? And oh my goodness, this is costing us so much money. Those tend to be the phone calls we get. We do get calls from our own clients that are saying, hey, having this issue, or what do you think about this? And those are fun. But when we're meeting new people, usually by phone or by email, it's not because everything is rosy in their world. Usually it's because something bad has happened. So if I can get out and educate and get in front of people and talk about this, and then people catch on and go, oh, really? And we can try to prevent this stuff from happening. Because, listen, I've talked about it before. If NASA can spend $50 million in cybersecurity a year and still get hacked, it's impossible to keep the bad guys out forever. It just is. The reality is not a question of if you're going to get hacked. It's a matter of when. So what can you do to minimize the amount of damage and time the bad guys are in there? Well, the good news is there are things that can be done, and I talk about them quite often on these sessions. Having different layers of security and what each one of those are. Some of the stuff is free. It doesn't even cost any money to have really good passwords. I mean, check with your staff. How many people on staff still have the password of password or password 123? And I know you're thinking, none of mine would do that. Well, yeah, guess what? Sadly, the top 10 passwords of the world still are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, followed by password, let me in, football, dragon. I mean, simple things. And I've talked about that. The bad guys have got software now that will just do a brute force attack. It'll go through every word in the dictionary. It'll put the characters in. It knows you swap out the A's for an at sign and a 3 for the E. They know that. And they'll run these programs to try to guess what your passwords are. So having strong passwords doesn't cost you anything. You have an acceptable use policy, or you're just assuming everybody on your staff is going to know how they should behave and that they should be able to spot a phishing email off the bat. Again, there's so many things that we can be doing to minimize the chances of them getting in, and then making sure that the damage, should they get in, won't be devastating and won't cause you to be out of business. Maybe we should break into that. Listen, if you got questions specific, please feel free. Send them to me direct. I'd be happy to answer them. It's always exciting to see where what people are thinking and where I can actually try to lend a hand to help them. Thanks a lot for spending some of your day with me. And once again, thanks for joining me on Scott on Security. Stay safe out there.